It's the grandson of right thought. Welcome to the School of Marvelous Light, little flock. I've talked about this before, but I want to remind you all of it again today because it's extremely important for you as who you are to understand what I'm about to tell you today. And it's up to you to discern or to judge whether what I'm going to tell you today is important or not. But if you are indeed of a particular, unique type of people on the earth called Israel, if you are of that people, then first thing you need to know is that you forgot that. And the second thing you need to know is what I'm about to tell you today. But notice what I said first. The first thing you need to know is that you forgot that. I will refer you to the book of Isaiah. The prophet Isaiah says, "The ox knows his master or knows his owner, and the ass knows his master's crib." Watch this part right here, little flock. But Israel does not know, nor does he consider. So now when you connect that Lego to what I just told you, don't it make perfect sense? Israel doesn't know his master, and he doesn't know his master's crib. So if we connect that, then what does that mean? He doesn't know who his head is, or who he gets his direction from, or his word from. He doesn't know. And secondly, he doesn't even know where he's from. He doesn't know where his home is. Well, what do you do at home? What does home represent? Don't they say home is where the heart is? We know that the home represents peace, calm, relaxation, and rest, right? So when we see God's hometown for his people called Israel, that hometown is called Jerusalem. What does Jerusalem mean? It means the city of peace, like I've told you. A peaceful, calm, restful state of being is it what you feel when you're at home. Israel doesn't feel those things. Hear me today. I told you, if you're of Israel, then you can't help but relate to what I'm about to tell you today. You can't help it. If you're not Israel, then you're not going to be able to relate to what I'm saying. You know who you is, you know who you get your word from, and you know where your home is at. You know where you feel comfortable. Israelites don't feel comfortable in this world at all. But they think it's their world, so they try to make themselves fit in. A square peg don't fit in a round hole. And to a unrighteous, wicked, evil, adulterous world, you might seem quite square. You hear me today, little flock? So Israel doesn't know these things, nor does he consider it. That's another important part for you to get. He doesn't consider that maybe he's been listening to somebody who doesn't have his best interest at heart. He doesn't consider that. He doesn't consider that maybe you're living in a world that is not your own. Maybe you're in a place that doesn't belong to you. Do you consider maybe that could be the case? Israel doesn't do that. So he has to be told it. Just like Isaiah or Isaiah was telling them then. It's happening again today. You see? Because they forgot. They don't know. And so since they don't know who they are, they don't know their master, then they don't know their power. That word power is the same word God in the Bible. Power. They don't know where their power is, so they feel powerless then. Now, Israel, can you confirm with me that that's how you have felt in this world? You have felt subject to it, right? You have felt like a slave in it, like a serf in it, right? Like a servant. You felt like a a castaway, an outcast. Well, what did your master see? What did he tell you? My kingdom is not of this world. You see that right there? What I mean about Israel listening to their king? Your king is not going to try to tell you that your kingdom is in this world and you need to do things in this world to build a kingdom. He's not going to tell you that. Because if he told you that, then he'd be telling you something different than what the master told you. Wouldn't he be? My kingdom is not of this world. For if it was, then my soldiers would stand up and fight for me and not allow me to be taken from you. Do you hear it? So then so it is today, little flock. Your kingdom is not of this world. You need to know your master and your master's crib in order for you to understand that. Now, like I told you, there's a second part of this information that you also need to know that I'm going to share with you today. I've shared it before, but I'm going to share it again today. In order for you to know this little secret tidbit of information, you got to go to the Apocrypha, which is a series of books that was taken out of the original Bible. You see that there, little flock of later? Now, if you don't want the Israelites to know what is happening to them because you want to keep them subject, you want to keep them bound in slavery, then you will keep the information that tells them how that has become that way from them, wouldn't you? That way they wouldn't have an opportunity to find it or get to know it. And then you would put fear on them for searching in other places for this information other than the 66 canon of the Bible. Well, when I read to you, what I'm going to read to you today, then it should make it perfectly clear as to why all of this took place, why it's called the Apocrypha, why it was taken out, why you didn't know nothing about it for a long time. It's going to make perfect sense when you hear it. Now, go to the book of Judith. To the book of Judith, chapter 5. Do you see what I mean? Book of Judith? What the? I haven't even heard of that. I mean, I went to Sunday school and everything. I was sitting in the front row at Vacation Bible School this summer, and I was an altar boy and all, and I never even heard of the book of Judith. Yeah, we know why. Because like I said, watch when we get into it, little flock, it gonna make sense. Now we just gonna jump straight to the point, because we don't want to beat around the bush, because we don't like doing that. That's a waste of time to do that there. Judith chapter 5, verse 17. And whilst they sinned, now I got to give you a little bit of background. Israel is surrounded by an army. This army is led by a man named Holofernes. Okay? He's the leader of this army that has come against Israel. Now he's considering what to do. Should he attack? Should he wait? What should he do with this people? And he's going to get some advice from a man named Achior, an Ammonite. Okay, Ammon, one of those nations, League of Nations that came against Israel, Psalm 83. So this is an enemy of Israel. Now let's see what this enemy of Israel has to say. All right. And when we hear what he has to say, it should be pretty clear that this is an enemy of Israel. Okay? So now that you got that background, they're considering what to do. Now Achior is going to give some advice to the leader of the army, Holofernes. Okay? And whilst they sinned not before their power, stop. This is Achior speaking to Holofernes. He tells him, while the Israelites were not sinning against their power, not against the power, not against a power, not against our power, but specifically, every word is put there for a reason. He did not put it there void. He put it there for a reason. If they sin against their power. So now, Israel, I need y'all to understand something here. You have a power then, obviously. So remember how I referred earlier to how they've been feeling powerless? That's a lie then, isn't it? They have their own power. So Israelites, my people that I'm speaking to, I'm here to tell you the truth concerning your power so that you can rise up. You hear that word, rise up? So that you can rise up to who you were always intended to be, who God created you to be. Your power created you to be. Not what the world has told you to be. Not what another nation has told you to be. Not what your friend and told you to be. Not who your mama raised you to be. Not who your daddy was trying to force you to be. But who your power told you to be. Now we're going to get into who your power is so that you ain't got no excuse if you heard this message today, little flock. All right. So he says, if they sin before their power, okay, whilst they sinned not before their power, so when they were not sinning, you hear that, Israel? So when you were doing what was right, let's see what happened. They prospered. Stop real quick right there again. So then another thing the Israelites have been feeling in this world is prosperless. That's part of a curse put upon the nation of Israel for their disobedience or their sin. Part of the curse is that you will have a bag, but your bag that you got, it got holes in the bottom of that shit. Is that the kind of bag you want? I don't think so. But that's the bag you got when you sin against your God. So when you sin not, you prospered. But when you sinned, refer to the book of Deuteronomy. It'll tell you all about this. Chapter 28. When they sinned, they got a bag that got holes in it. So when you got your money and you put it in your bag, what happened next? You went skipping all off, skeely deeing all happy and every damn thing, not realizing that everybody else is running behind you, snatching up what you're dropping. They're celebrating and you think they're celebrating for you. Yeah, man, yeah. Keep filling that bag. You're like, wow, these people really want me to win. You go along filling your bag, filling your bag, filling that 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 bag. That's all your mind is set on. And so you feeling it all right. But meanwhile, it's falling from your bag. And when it's falling from out your bag, then all of a sudden everybody else is running behind you, grabbing it up for themselves. Because maybe you didn't read that scripture that said, the wicked store up treasures for the righteous. Don't you see it? Only those who serve the power and sin not are those who prosper. You hear that? Yeah? Okay. So now, let's see here. Because the power that hateth iniquity was with them. So let's ask all the Israelites the question. You've read in the Bible where God says, depart from me, you workers of iniquity. I never knew you. So does he hate iniquity? So this Achior, is he telling Israel their power, an attribute about their power? Yes, he is, even though the scriptures had already done it for us. But since we didn't know that those scriptures were ours, then we didn't know it applied to us specifically. They thought it applied to everybody else, and we were just some people that was finding out about it. Nope. You got lied to again. You got lied to again. So let's keep going. Let's keep seeing. So the power that hates iniquity was with them. So then your power is a power that hates iniquity. So what happens when you deal in iniquity? Uh-oh. You're not going to prosper in nothing that you do. And when you seem to prosper, you're only prospering momentarily. Do you understand that today? You're only prospering momentarily. Now, who wants to prosper momentarily? Like I said, who wants to put money in the bag? You run off rejoicing, and then when you get home, it ain't no money in that bag that you have stacked it all up in. It's empty. Not even a nickel down in there. That shit fell through the hole too. Shit, damn. Everything fell out. Do you hear me? So now, verse 18. But when they departed, listen at that there. We all like sheep have gone astray. I am not sent but to the lost sheep. Concisier to everybody else that don't want to understand how simple that is to understand. Real easy to me. I am not sent but to the lost sheep. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, then they were destroyed in many battles, very sore, and were led captives. So, like I said, Israelites, you're going about the earth and you know it, feeling as a captive. That's because you are. And the reason why you are, we're finding out why. So if you were wise, like I said, wouldn't you listen to this? If you wanted to get out of that case. Now, the thing is, some don't want to face the reality that they don't want to be in the case that they're in today. In a strange land. Are you in a strange land? Because I know for damn sure I am. In a strange ass land. A people that are workers of iniquity, that live false lives with a mask on all damn day long. That's weird as hell. That's a strange fucking land. Because the land where I come from, people don't wear no goddamn mask. Why would you? If you dwell lovingly with your neighbor. If you dwell lovingly with your neighbor, that means you ain't working no damn deceit. That means you ain't working no trickery. That means you ain't working no unbalanced scales. Isn't that true? Which is iniquity. You see that there? But when you go away from that way of living, so then obviously what that means y'all start doing, Israel, y'all start wearing masks. You let somebody put a fake ass identity on you and you accepted it. You took on that image of a fucking slave. Don't you understand that? Instead of the way he appointed you to walk. Because what did he tell you? You were Israel, a nation of kings and priests. So then why would you let anybody else, like a fucking Edomite or an Ammonite or any other kind of ite, tell you who you are instead of your master, who did not lie to you, but told you were precious to him, that you were a diadem in his crown? How could you not accept that that means you're precious? And then you would walk forward today with that mindset that I am precious. I don't care what a nigga say to me. I don't care what a nigga do to me. I don't care what the world threatens me. I don't care. Because I give my allegiance to my head and my power. And why would I leave it when you can't touch it, nigga? No weapon formed against me shall prosper if I walk in the way he appointed me to walk. You hear me today, Israel? I ain't lying to you. I'm telling you the truth because I ain't got no guile in my mouth because I love you. And this is how a man will speak to you when he love you. I didn't say this how a boy speak to you. I didn't say this how a woman speak to you. I said this how a man speak to you when he love you. They got destroyed in sore many battles, y'all. And why? Because they left the way he appointed them. And they were led captives into a land that was not theirs. See what the hell I'm talking about? A land that ain't theirs. How do you know, Israel, you live in a land that's not yours? Look at your money that you use every day. I ain't got to go no further than that. Look at the money in your pocket. I'm going to tell you the same thing Yahusha said to y'all. I'm not going to tell you nothing different. What did he say? He said, look at the money. Whose inscription is on it? Caesar's is. Now, is Caesar on your money? Look at that shit. Stop playing with us over here at the School of Marvelous Light because you're going to get your ass exposed. You try to. You become a mirror, then people are going to have to start to reflect you. That's what a king is. Your people are going to reflect you if you're the king, because Abba has made you the mirror to show them what they are. This is why you lift up your voice like a trumpet and you spare not, so that you can expose their hearts to them. They can see the wickedness. They don't have a choice when they listening to you talk, because you are purifying power if you are indeed a king. You're going to correct your damn people and get them in line. And you're going to lead them out of that damn captivity they've been in, and you're going to lead them right home, right to them green pastures and them still waters, Israel. This ain't your land. Niggas die every day. The fuck is y'all talking about? Y'all got the nerve to be happy? Huh? You got the nerve to be happy living in this godforsaken land? Why? Because they promised you a diamond chain, nigga? Because they gave you some bitch that don't care about you? She only using you like Delilah did Samson so she can find out what your power is and strip it from you, nigga? She gonna talk down to you. She gonna lie to you and tell you lies about who you are. And you gonna believe that shit. And you gonna fall for it. And you gonna start to say, damn, maybe I'm not valuable. She told me I wasn't valuable unless I go get this. More Caesar's trinkets. And then even when I got all of Caesar's trinkets, she still disrespected me. That's what she gonna keep on doing, because this ain't your land. The land is synonymous with the woman. So that woman is showing you that you're not in your land. Because if you were, man, you would have peace. You would have rest. You would have comfort. You would have ceased from your works to try to be loved. If you knew the truth, then you'd be free from trying to do some shit to be loved. You would know that you are. And if you know that you is, then you chilling. Don't give a damn what a bitch done said to me. I ain't handsome. I am. I am. I ain't healthy. I am. That's all I'm gonna do on you niggas. Because I'm sticking to my power. You can't strip me from it. You can't take it from me. I gotta relinquish it. And you gotta be a damn fool to think that I would relinquish my power for you heathens. Please. I ain't coming off my throne for now one of you niggas. I ain't doing it. I'm gonna sit here like Abba said until you acknowledge your shit. That's what I'm gonna do. Nah. Let's continue. Into a land that is not theirs. And the temple of their power was cast to the ground. The temple of their power was cast to the ground. Do you hear it there, little flockulators? So if the temple was cast to the ground because they were not walking in the ways of the Most High, then when you read about the prophecy that I've kept on telling you guys about a man whose name is the branch, who is the servant of the Most High, when he's sent, he will rebuild the temple. He shall build the temple. Is that not what the scriptures prophesied? That's today, because I am the man whose name is the branch. Can't you hear it, nigga? Branch is something I told y'all that you strip off of a tree to whoop your child when he has gone astray. That's what you make a rod out of, nigga, a branch. Well, he says, don't, what do he say? Don't spare the rod, because if you do, then you're going to spoil that child. So then the branch is a rod. That's why he got a rod that come out his mouth. Can you hear it? Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's continue. So the temple of their power was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemies. Their cities were taken by the enemies. So do you hear that, Israelites? Your cities were taken by the enemies, and the temple of your power was cast to the ground because you walked away from the ways that Abba told you to walk in. If Abba is love, then what do you think he told you to do? Well, I told y'all don't know y'all master. Obviously, y'all think y'all do. Well, if you did know him, then what do you think he told you to do? Love one another as I have loved you. The whole law is contained in this one damn saying. So what you want me to say? People want to say all the law, but they don't want to just say the one saying that encompasses it all. So they still rebellious as hell. They still rebellious as hell. And if they step to me, I'm going to hit their ass with that fucking rod. I'll tell you that right now. But now are they returned to their power and are come up from the places where they were scattered. So then I'm asking you guys right now, Israel, you're scattered now. So then you will come up out of the places where you're scattered, which is what I'm here to do, to gather you guys unto this teaching that I teach you here today, to gather you to the Word. The Word was God. The Word was with God. I'm here to gather you to the Word. And once you're gathered to it, then guess what happens to you? You're no longer scattered, because we're taking the Father's name under one damn name. I'm not going to sit here and tolerate anybody lying about it either. I'm going to straight tell it to you. I am is that name that we will all be gathered unto, because that is the name I'm sent in. So once you start to call upon that name in truth, you are gathered to the same place I am, because you're saying the same thing that I'm saying. And where 2 or 3 agree concerning a matter, they're going to have it. So I am blessed. I am prospering so much that my cup is running over. I can't even contain it all. And I love it that way. I am dripped and draped in all kinds of beautiful, fancy, elegant, wonderful damn things. I am experiencing an experience that only someone who is completely filled with gratitude can experience. I am loving my life. I am loving everything that I see. I am loving everything that I enjoy today. Do you understand? It's a whole new way of speaking. That's why it sounds weird to y'all. Grandson talking crazy. That's because it's new. When the Spirit is speaking, people will hear you speak and they will think you're drunk. I can prove that with the scriptures if y'all need me to, like I do every damn thing else. If you go to the book of Acts, you're going to see the Holy Ghost fall upon some men, and they're going to start to speak. And when the people heard them speak, they said, these men are filled with new wine. They're drunken. And then Peter had to say, these men are not drunk as you suppose, but this is the prophecy being fulfilled of when the Spirit is poured upon a man. This is what he looks like, and this is what he sounds like. He's not trying to be somebody that y'all think is good. He's not trying to make up an image that y'all will accept him. I don't give a fuck whether you accept me. I give a damn whether you accept the truth. Can you do that today? You die daily. You give up what you thought you was, nigga. What you thought you was wasn't shit. It outwardly appeared beautiful, but the inside was all fucked up and you knew it. You were searching. You were still asking and inquiring, just like Saul. Saul looked good on the outside. Saul was blameless on the outside. Nobody could even blame that nigga for doing no sin. It is written. He was a Pharisee of the Pharisee. Pharisee judge outward appearance, so he outwardly appeared more beautiful than everybody damn else. They couldn't even say shit. He was wrong. So then what the fuck are you when you were doing that shit, painting yourself all up to be somebody at work? You standing there and shit all studious and shit, wearing this stupid ass outfit they gave you to wear a fucking uniform. You're wearing that dumb ass hat. You're wearing that stupid ass uniform every damn day, feeling like you're somebody. You're walking around feeling like you're that guy that wears that damn uniform, that talks in that certain way, that looks like that smiles like that reacts like this, that lies. That nigga says yes when he means to say no. He says no when he really wants to say yeah, because he's a stepping fetch it poop butt ass coward that can't accept that shit. He needs to face that shit so that he know he need deliverance from it. That's the key, little flock. You can't get deliverance from some shit you don't think you need to be saved from. If I know how to swim real good, if I'm falling in some water, I'm not going to flail about as if I need to be saved. I'm just going to swim around. But if a nigga don't know how to swim and he fall in some water, that would be very strange to see him not flail about. It would be very strange to see him just calm and cool as hell, drowning like a motherfucker. You ain't going to see that. You're going to see him fighting. Well, you don't see me fighting because I'm swimming, because I'm comfortable in this environment. Do you see what I'm saying to you? All right, so let's continue. Let's continue. But now they are returned to their power and are come up from the places where they were scattered and have possessed what? Jerusalem. Y'all think y'all can play with what I've told y'all? Or is it clear as hell now what I've said? Jerusalem means a state of peace. The things that the grandson teaches you all, is that where it brings you to? A state of calm and peace? How could it not? How could saying I am loved bring you to a tumultuous place? It can't. It can only bring you to Jerusalem. So you see that's where they're gathered to? So it's happening today right now? Yeah. Yeah. If you didn't know I am and didn't know the power and how to use it, but now you do because you heard me speak to you, then that means that God didn't lie to you about the prophecy of the branch. It means he told you the truth. And that means it's happening right before your very eyes. Because this could not happen if I did not sprout. In other words, if I had not grown into who I am, then I could not be who I am today. I would not know who I am. I would think I was the same man that worked at that plant on that assembly line, being a team leader, feeling like he was doing a good thing and taking care of his family and every damn thing. That everybody called me a certain name when they saw me. And you know what that name meant? I told you guys before. It meant polite. So then you see how the false life is a lie? Because when you hear me speak today, I don't sound very polite at times. Sometimes I do, but there are times when I don't. Because I'm a balanced man. So there should be times when and times when. See? If you're balanced, it should be. That's why Solomon told you all that when he said there's a time to love and there's a time to hate. There's a time to be born and there's a time to die. Right? And it goes on and on. So then there's going to be time and time, like I told you, when you're dealing with a true man. Like I've said, a whole man, a complete. But when you have not accepted both sides of yourself, like I said on a previous video, a few videos back, if you have not accepted all of you, then you're not whole. Are you? No. So you're still in denial because you believe that if you showed all the parts of you, that you would not be loved. I'm here to tell you that's just a big lie. You are loved regardless of what you are because God already said whether he loved you or not before you had done anything. You think when you do stuff that keep you from being loved. But then how is Jacob loved and he had not done anything yet? Then how is he loved? Before he was born. I know. It's wonderful to be who you are because then you're powerful. That's your power. It's who you are. I just unveiled it to you. Who you actually are is your power. So that's why can't nobody fuck with me. Because I'm walking in my power of who I am. I'm the branch. And knowing that allows me to know a truth of that man that can't nobody come against him. He's God's servant to build the temple that will regather the nation unto the truth. That's what he's going to do, and nobody can stop him from doing it. So then, can't you see that's I actually live that truth? I guess that's the most proper way I can say it to you. Can't you see me living that truth out? Not just saying it, but living it out by what I do. Every time y'all hear my mouth open, it's doing that work in you. It's reminding you that you're loved. It's reminding you that no matter what darkness and evil that you've seen in yourself doesn't stop you from being loved. Abba understands everything that you go through. That's what he sent his son for. So that he could succor us and understand our plight as a man. He came and suffered everything that a man suffers so that he could succor you when you fall. And he knows how it feels to sweat blood and how hard it is to take injustice at times. Little flock, I know that shit. Because I've been there many times in my life. And I've had many people, even the people that say that they've loved me, I've had them look at me with shame, shaking their head, wondering why I'm allowing things to happen to me. Why I allowed that person to talk to me like that. Why I allowed that person to take that from me without vengeance. They shake their head and they're ashamed to call me their family. And it's okay, because my mother and my brother are those who do the will of I am. Not who lies, not who lashes back just because they think it's right, not who turns away from the Father because of their own lust of their own heart. That's not my family. But those who submit and take a deep breath and say, it's okay. You think you're getting over on me. You're not. And I know that you're not. And I don't have to do anything to prove that you're not. Because I believe the Father, and what the Father has said is you reap what you sow. I'm sad for you that you're sowing this evil against me. Because you're going to reap it from another. You won't reap it from me. For I am not that man who would do those things. I would not speak that way to a person. I would not treat a person that way that you're doing. with deception, with guile, with betrayal. I wouldn't do that. I dwell with my neighbor in truth, in trust, faithfully, not walking by sight, but walking by the truth of what we have oathed to one another, like David and Jonathan did. Not betraying the trust of my brother for any reason, but holding myself accountable to those words that we say. I love you, brother. Holding myself to that fire, because love is a consuming fire. And hold yourself to it and see if you can endure it, or will you burn up? Because you failed to meet the test. Let's continue, little flock. All right, they have possessed Jerusalem, where their sanctuary is. Sanctuary means a safe place. So where is our safe place? Now think about how many times you've panicked when you faced an army or an uncomfortable situation, in other words. When you face that, think of how many times you've panicked. Think of how many times you yelled out to defend yourself. Think of how many times you got wrathful and angry. Think how many times that you got uncomfortable and got agonia, the scripture calls it, stress. You got distressed when you faced something. Think about it. And then consider what you have just heard, where your sanctuary or your safe place actually is. It's in a state of rest and peace. Jerusalem. That's where. So now, and are seated in the hill country. Shout out to my brother Carlton Hills. We set up in the hill country. You see that? The penthouse way up high. You see why I be talking the way I be talking? You see? Chilling at Carlton Hills penthouse. You see? In the city of peace. For it was desolate. See, wasn't nobody in that penthouse, little flock. The nation of Israel down on the earth slave and picking cotton all damn day long, working for their bread, laboring in Egypt. They didn't know they were in Egypt because it's spiritual Egypt, not physical. So because it wasn't physical, they were deceived to thinking that they were free. They were slaves. They were slaves to a clock. They didn't want to clock in every day at that time, but they had to. So they did. That's slavery. They didn't want to wear that uniform, but they had to if you were going to be here. So they did. They didn't want to smile at every customer that came in there and treat that customer as if the customer was right. But they did because they had to fake the funk because they're living in slavery. Slave would walk into the master's house and the master would tell that slave to do something and he didn't want to do it all the time. But if he showed that he didn't want to do it, he got punished. So if you showed that you didn't want to clock in and you came late, you got punished and got a write-up. And the list goes on. Do you see? You're taught this from a child. You get late to school, you're in truancy. Where the hell were you? What were you doing? Skipping school or something? Don't you know you ain't supposed to be doing that? I didn't feel like going today. See, watch how you gotta lie in order to get your way. Watch what I'm saying. When you were a kid, there were times you didn't feel like going to school. Don't lie to me. There were times you just didn't feel like it. You felt fine. You just didn't feel like going to school. And so you lied to your mama and said, Mama. You were regular when you were in your room, but when you came out and went to her room, Mama. I ain't feeling good. Mama be like, oh, okay. You sure? Yeah, I can't go to school. My stomach hurting too bad. Go in the bathroom, start retching, making retching sounds, pouring the cup of water into the toilet to make it sound like you're throwing up and everything. So your ass in there acting like hell. Do you see what I mean? So you can get a day out of school. Now your school wondering why your ass ain't show up. So now your mama say, oh, they tell your mama, oh, you need a doctor's letter. So now you got to get took to the doctor. Oh, shit. I lied and said I wasn't feeling good. Now I got to fake for the doctor. Doc, I think I ate too many Hot Pockets or something. My stomach. Okay, well, give you this this Pepto-Bismol here and give you this note to say why you need to take a week out of school. Here you go. You're happy as hell. You run back to school, give that shit to your principal. Here you go, Mr. Johnson. Oh, yeah, I was wondering where you were, Tommy. I didn't see you in class. Y'all hear all this shit? So you be lying, and then you did it for work. Y'all can't lie to me. There were days you woke up, you rolled over, you looked at your girl. She had that thing all tooted up. You could see it through the blanket. You was like, damn. Do you see what I mean about being a balanced male? You see how I can just flow right into that without lying because it's just the truth. It's part of the truth. And it ain't nothing wrong with it. You rolled over, you looked and saw that heel under that blanket. You were like, damn, girl, shit. You pulled that blanket back a little bit, got to looking, little nightgown, shit was all up, hiked all up over her hips. You was like, oh, shit. I know I'm supposed to get up and be at work in 45 minutes, but I know what I'm about to be doing for the next 45 minutes. I know what I'm about to be getting into. So let me see. After you done, you look at your phone. Shit. I'm a half hour late already. Oh, well, call in. Yeah, man, I need one of them VR days. I need one of them vacation days, man. I ain't feeling good, man. Shit, call Jameson, man. Tell him to fill in for me, man. Y'all hear me today, little flock? And y'all know this is true what I'm telling y'all, right? All right, so you faking the funk everywhere. You did it with church. There were days you didn't want to go to church. Yeah, there was someone I know and love, man. She's gone now. She's passed on to the next dimension. But while she was here, man, there were days she just didn't want to go to church, and she would literally fake for her family. She would come out all sick and everything, voice cracking. I can't make it. I lost my voice. I ain't feeling good now. Okay. Well, we gonna head on to church. You stay on in. She like, okay. Wasn't nothing wrong with that woman. She was fine. She just didn't want to go. Like when you didn't want to go to school. Like when you didn't want to go to this shit they trying to make you do. So then if you didn't want to go, then there's another kid in there that you just neglected your whole damn life, not ever giving him what he asked for. What is he asking you for? Rest. That's all he's ever asking for. Comfort, rest, peace. That's all he ever asked for. And you will not give those things to him. So then what do you think happens to a neglected child that you just won't love? You got a Cain. You have a Esau. And they grow up to be a murderer. They grow up to hate their brothers and kill. And then you wonder why there's so many of Israelite men that grew up without a father in a fatherless home that grew up to become a murderer. And y'all wonder why. Well, I just told you why. Now, therefore, verse 20, therefore, my Lord and governor, if there be any error against this people, and they sin against their power, let us consider that this shall be their ruin. So then, did he say, because we got all this army, Holofernes, because we got all this army here, that's going to be their damn ruin. We got too many numbers. Did he say that? Hell to no, that's not what he said. What he actually said was, if they turn away from their power and they sin against their power, and if they err, then that's what's going to ruin them. See? And he said, and let us go up and we shall overcome them. You see that, little flock? Verse 21, but if there be no iniquity in their nation, look at that there. None of that faking. You ain't got to fake. You got to fake to be in Egypt. You don't have to fake to be in your nation. How you going to get to your nation? By not faking. By being who you are. The world is trying to stop you from being who you are, man. You hear that today? They're trying to stop you from being who you are. Are you going to let them? Fear not, be of good cheer, for I have overcome the world. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass on by, nigga. Better pass by my people, bitch ass niggas. You better walk on by, because I'm a rod that will not allow iniquity to be in my nation. I hate it. Now see, watch what I'm about to tell you, little flock, about me. I hate iniquity. Absolutely hate it. If you're living in a world that's everybody is a worker of that, then what in the hell do you think that means? In order to get along at all in this world, I would have to deny that feeling of hatred that I have for what it takes to be in that world. I would have to fake it. I would have to kill myself in order to do it. Do you see that there? I would have to castrate myself and not be who I am in order to do it. Right? But since I can't fake the funk, you see that there? Then I can't be of that world, because I'm going to always let them know how much I hate what they do. And don't I? Can you hear how much I hate it? Or do you have to think whether I hate it or not? Stop playing with me. So now he says, let us pass by, lest their Lord defend them. Uh-oh, look at that there. Their power will defend them, and their power before them, and we become a reproach before all the world. We're going to get our asses whooped. We run up in there trying to do some shit. And when Achior had finished these sayings, all the people standing round about the tent murmured. And the chief men of Holofernes and all that dwelt by the seaside and in Moab spake that he should kill him. For said they, we will not be afraid of the face of the children of Israel, for lo, it is a people that have no strength nor power for a strong battle. Do you hear that? They said this Achior man killed this nigga. They don't know what the hell he talking about. Come on, we're going to be a reproach for the whole wide world. Look at our army. Look at them niggas. They ain't even got no damn weapons. They ain't got shit. They ain't got a flag. They ain't got none of that crap. They ain't got nothing. So how the hell can they fight against us? You see their mindset, little flock? I need you to see it. I need you to get wise as a serpent to hear that shit. All right? Now therefore, Lord Holofernes, we now therefore will go up, and they shall be a prey to be devoured of all thine army. You hear that, little flock? Now, the story continues, but I got what I wanted from that. Okay? I got what I wanted from that. Do you see what determines your downfall or your rise? You do. You have to be you, and you arise. If you lie about who you are and be somebody else, you have trespassed. Do you understand what it means to trespass? You have went somewhere you were not allowed to go. In order for you to trespass, somebody had to put that sign on their property. That sign on a piece of property is someone else's name. You're walking in someone else's name and not your name, because you don't know your name, because your name is hidden in God. Did you know that? Well, what did Jacob find out? Come on, stop trying to play with me. I told you I'm going to foot sweep your ass like Sub-Zero sliding on that ice that he threw down there on the floor. And then when I foot sweep you and you fly up in the air, you know what I'm coming with next. Whoopee, wee. And then your ass going to do a backflip into that lava. And when you float to the top, it's just going to be a skeleton. When you float back up to the top of that lava, it's just going to be a skeleton. Yeah. Be of good cheer and fear not, for I have overcome the world. All right. Now let's continue, and then we'll be done with this message, little flock of laters. Let's go to the book of Ephesians, chapter 2. All right, Ephesians chapter 2, we'll start at the first verse. Now, what did I tell you? Trespassing. That means you went into somebody else's property, man. You acted like somebody else that you weren't. That means you trespassed in someone else's identity. You became another person. You see what I mean? You're not being you. So let's see what Ephesians got to say. And you hath he quickened. Quicken means to give life to. So when you were walking in a false identity, were you alive? No. Your identity laid there as a corpse. They're dead. You didn't take up your cross. You see? It's just laying there on the ground. You got to take it up. Now let's continue. And you hath he quickened, who were dead in trespasses and sins. So you understand that word now? You were dead in trespasses and sins. Sins means you're not being who God told you to be. You're not walking in the way he appointed you to walk. You're going against your own truth when you're acting out lies, deceptions, things that do not belong to you. In other words, do you hear what I'm saying to you? You're going somewhere that doesn't actually align with who you are. So you feel that. And you war in the soul. You have soul damage now when you go. Soul means your thoughts and your feelings. Your psychological body is now at war. You have mental health problems now, they call it in this world. The reason why you have that is because you're going against who you are. You're not walking in the truth of who you are. You see? Watch verse 2. Wherein in time past you walked according to the course of this world. What did I describe to you earlier about? In order for me who hate iniquity to live in a world of iniquity, I would have to do what? Walk according to the course of the world. See? Which is according to the prince of the power of the air. You hear that, little flock? The spirit that now works in the children of disobedience. The spirit means that's got them living their life. So they're living their life according to the prince of the air, which is the spirit that works disobedience in you, not heeding to what you are told to do. So you see what I mean about, oh, you didn't go to work? Okay, we're going to give you a write-up. You were late, getting you a write-up. You get one more, you're fired. Fire causes that worker to feel psychological issues. Do you see what I'm saying? It causes him to fear. So he gets there on time. And then he will brag. He's done it for 40 years, killing himself, living a false life, beating himself up for 40 years. And he will brag about how he's never been late. So that the younger kid growing up that's new to the job will hear that and desire to have the same thing. Oh, I'll do 40, I'll never be late, and I'll be just like this guy, man. Beat up, toe down, fat as hell, ugly, all out of shape, looking all sick and shit. That's what you want? Oh, shit. I mean, that's the truth. Hating yourself, not being a man, feeling castrated your whole life, being subject to a Delilah in your life. That's what you want? Oh, shit, grandson. I mean, that's really what it is. Yeah. Yeah. You'll find yourself coming home from work, washing all the dishes, cooking the dinner, and then bringing Delilah her plate as well. That gonna make your ass feel castrated. And if you got a son, he gonna see you doing that shit. And he's not gonna be a fool. He's gonna see how much you hate it as well. But he's gonna see you do it anyway. So then he's gonna learn that being a man means doing what you hate. But being a man is doing what you love, nigga. Not doing what you hate, doing what you love, and not tucking your tail for nobody that tries to keep you from doing it. If they try to keep you from doing it, you politely say, excuse me, can you move out of my way because I got something that I need to be doing? Or like Yahusha said, you didn't know I'd be about my father's business. I know y'all didn't like what I did, my mother and my father. I know it looked like I didn't honor you. I know that. But me being about my father's business honors you more than anything else that I could be doing, isn't it? Slicer. Now let's continue. Verse 3, among whom also we all, see that there, had our conversation in time past in the lust of our flesh. So that's the only conversation that you have when you're at work. That's the only conversation you have in high school. That's the only conversation you have in college. That's the only conversation you have at the country club. That's the only kind of conversation that you have working in the medical field. That's the only type of conversation you have doing anything in this world. When you go to do it, that's the only conversation y'all talk about. What car you gonna get? What new house you want? What Rolex that is you got on your wrist? How much did you pay for your shoes? Where did you get them? Oh, I like that car you got. Where'd you get it? How did you get? Did you get a good deal? That's all people talk about. And you were in there too talking about that shit back in the day because that's all you knew how to do. See it? You were dead, he said, when you were doing that. Look how I'm making this shit so crystal clearly. Like I told y'all, that's what I do. Now, am I doing it? So then I ain't lying. See? Doing exactly what Abba told me to do, being who he told me to be. I used to fight against this, going at work, keeping my mouth shut, not opening my mouth when I saw unrighteousness, just going along with it, sometimes even partaking in the shit. Going further than the ones who were actually the other people I considered to be sinners. I went further than them niggas when I did the shit. So then I ain't got to lie about what I know about. So among whom we all had our conversation in time past in the lust of our flesh, fulfilling the desires of the flesh. What we gonna eat for lunch, y'all? Let's all put in. It's the way it is when you're at work. Let's all put in and go order some such and such, man. Eat something good today. You give them your $30 and shit. Y'all go give the shit to one person. They go run and get the food. They come back with the cart with the food on it. Y'all rubbing y'all hands. Yeah! Happy like a fucking hyena because you got a bone thrown to your ass on your chain gang line, nigga. Still wearing them stripes with the chain gang shit. With a supervisor watching your ass. Supervisor, overseer. Read Egypt, and then you'll see why I'm pointing that out to you. And were by nature, hear this? Excuse me, let me go back a little bit more. Fulfilling the desires of the flesh and of the mind. What mind were you in back then? The carnal mind, which is death. You see why you were dead? See? And were by nature, see that there? So it wasn't like you knew what you was doing. It was your nature to be that way because you were born into that world. You were born altogether in sin. You didn't know no different. Everywhere you went, you were taught this against your will. So it went beneath the surface. You didn't know what was happening to you when it was happening. When you were becoming the false version of yourself, you didn't know you were. You thought you were becoming the good person, learning how to be good so that you could go along and get the things you wanted to fulfill your lust. See? It's called play the game. The game means work iniquity. That's what it means. It means lie. It means paint it up to look good, but it's not. That's what it means. So you want to play the game? Old ass nigga talking about, I'm teaching y'all some game. You teaching me how to be a slave. That's what you teaching me. I don't think I want to listen to you, my nigga. All right? So you were by nature the children of wrath, even as others. But power, which is rich in mercy, for his great love. I told you he loved us. Didn't I tell you this? For his great love wherewith he loved us. Even. He loved us! Even! Why am I raising my voice like a trumpet right there? Because y'all don't hear the even part. That's why. Now think about your life, and then you'll know why I raise my voice, and then you'll see the love, how much I know you, my people. Think about your life and think about how you thought God didn't love you because of something. Because you sinned. Because you felt that you deserved death. You thought God didn't love you. Tell me that ain't never happened to you, and then I'll stop talking to y'all. But you can't tell me that. That's why I said even like that. Even when you were dead in sins, he has quickened us together with Christ. By grace, you are saved, little flockulators. And he has raised us up together and made us sit together in heavenly places in Christ Yahushua, right thoughts, that in the ages to come, he might show the exceeding riches of his grace and his kindness toward us, his kindness toward us through Christ Yahushua. For by grace are you saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is a gift of Abba. It is a free gift, the little flock. Like when you woke up on Christmas. It's a free gift. You didn't have to do anything to earn it, but they try to teach you in this world that you have to be naughty or nice, not naughty. They didn't say you have to be kind and not naughty. They said nice, which means to be stupid and a fool and to let me take advantage of you. Then I'll give you a gift. What a wicked thing to teach a child. What a wicked thing to kill a child and to suffer them to be given over to Moloch and be put through the fire and their true identities burned up before they ever had a chance to grow up to be men, to stand in that fire of adversity. You put them in as children. How unfair. How unfair and unequal and unrighteous and wicked. Totally. And it is not of yourselves. It is a gift of the power, not of works. See that little flock? Rest. You can rest. It's okay. Because even when you were sinning, the Father loved you. So when you think you do something good, he loves you. It's not because you did something good. He loves you if you did something wrong or if you did something good. Just like you love your baby. Just like you love your child. Despite what they've done wrong. They don't always do wrong. Sometimes they do right. And you praise them when they do right. But sometimes just give a little grace when they do wrong. Don't punish them when they do wrong, but give them grace. Knowing by faith that they'll get there. Just as I have arrived here, so will my son. Because Abba's doing the work, not me. So let me trust Abba in my child. And let me step back a little bit. And let me be tender. Let me not spare him the rod when it's necessary. But let me also be a balanced man here. You hear what I'm saying, little flockulators? For we are his workmanship. You see what I'm saying to you? Not of works, lest any man should boast. For we are his workmanship. He's the one doing the work. Created in Christ Yahushua unto good works. You see, the good works that you do are in you already. Not what you do with your hands, what you do with your heart. Which the power have before ordained that we should walk in them. Do you see what I'm saying? Be who you truly are. Then you'll be doing the good works that you're supposed to be doing. Because there's no greater work that I can do for you, my brother or my sister who's hearing me today, than what I'm doing today. Even though you may not understand it yet. It's okay. Sometimes the child does not understand why the father does what he does. But when they get older, they understand why he did what he did. Why he grabbed them away from that cliff when he was falling over the side. Why his father so violently snatched him back. Wherefore remember that you being in time past Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision by that which is called the circumcision in the flesh made by hands. You were called unclean by people who clean the outside of the cup. Do you hear it? So then all you have to do is think about the master. He was called unclean by the people who clean the outside of the cup. The far from seas, I call them. They called him a wine bibber. They called him a glutton. They called him a devil. They called him Beelzebub. So what should they call you? You hear me today, little flock? So then, did Yahusha allow what they said about him to become true? Did he accept any of their words for his own identity? Or did he stay who he was despite how he was treated? Despite the injustice that he had to go through and not open his mouth. So do you see what I'm saying about how your family will feel about you, how they felt about me? When there were times when I opened not my mouth? This night you shall all be offended at me. I understood that when I opened not my mouth. So I was prepared for it, for that fire. Are you prepared for it, little flock? Because my words are here to help you in that regard, to be prepared, because we are a mighty army, and that's who I'm speaking to today. And we will not be defeated if we all rest in Jerusalem today, untouched by this fucking nasty ass, dirty, stinking ass world. But take the mind of Christ, which is pure, which is set apart and holy indeed, knowing that I am loved. And if you speak these words with me, then we are indeed in Jerusalem together and are no longer scattered. I am loved. I am so thankful. I am so thankful for the things that have been done for me on my behalf. Each and every step that I take, what I need is right there at my right hand and at my left hand. I'm so grateful for having an overabundance of good things that come into my life unexpectedly, but right when I need them. I'm so thankful for the Father's rod of correction that keeps me on the straight and narrow path of knowing that I'm loved, knowing that I'm looked after and cared for, and that I am seen. I am seen today, and I am lovingly looked at, and I am precious in His sight, despite my mistakes, despite my shortcomings and my errors, not believing that I was powerful at times, not believing that I was able to do the thing that He called me to do at times, not feeling like I was enough. Father, why me? For I don't speak right. I speak harshly. My words are unclean. And who would want to hear a man like me speak to them? Who would endure that? So why me, Father? I am unworthy. Forgiving me for those sins, Father, is a gift more precious to me than anything I have ever received from any being on this earth. The love wherewith you have loved us is incredible and truly awe-inspiring, and my heart sings praises to you, and I care not how men feel about my praises being sung to you today, Father, for my heart is wide open, and I dance naked before you until my clothes fall off, and I don't care if my wife be ashamed of me for never turning away from you, Father, but cleaving on to you, for you are my rock and my salvation. And whom shall I fear if I have you, Father, loving me constantly through it all? And if I am loved, then I know that anything that comes my way will be destroyed, and it will be vanquished right before my eyes as I smile with great duping delight, knowing that it would never be any other way. For I am loved completely by you, Father. I am precious to you. And because of that truth, why should I fear? Never again, Father. I'm never going back again because I'm here now. And I am overcome with gratitude. So I thank you today. I thank you for my brothers and sisters returning to your name and this work that you have done in giving me a family and siblings and returning my mother to me and my father to me and my brother and my sister, my true family, who keep these words in their heart. I am loved. So be blessed today, Israel, and do not be ashamed of who you are. Don't be ashamed for your true face when you look at the mirror. Don't turn away from it. Don't turn away from it. The Father says, turn your face to me and I'll turn my face to you. It's your reflection, your true image. Shalom, Israel.